there everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here in my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin', and in my craft room, and I am so happy to be here with you today. We are going to use our basic border dies to create some interest on the front of a card. This is a really cute little birthday card that I made just playing around with this, and by using those border dies you can come up with a lot of different options on how to do. So this was just it has a great impact, but it was a very easy card to make. So I thought I'm going to bring y'all a Christmas card using this same design, but we're going to show you a little bit of difference that you can do just by changing things up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started with that. On this card I used the basic borders. I used the go-to greetings for the happy birthday, and for the inside I used the nature's print, and I used the stamp right here. I just wanted to show you what I had used for that one. The only thing from here that we're going to use is the basic borders. I'm going to use Hope and Peace for my sentiment, and we might use Very Best Occasion for something on the inside. We'll see. For my designer series paper, I have chosen the Boughs of Holly, and let's go ahead and get the stamp set out that coordinates with that, and it is the Leaves of Holly is the one that that coordinates with this particular paper, and I believe there's a die set that goes with this too. This one right here called Holly Berry dies. So this is the coordinating dies and stamp set, and it also pairs with this paper. So I'm going to lay these over to the side because I haven't decided whether I'm going to use that. I know we're going to use the paper. We need a card base, so I have a card base here that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to make this a landscape card. Now you could do it both ways, but I think for today's card I want it to be landscape. I also have a piece of basic white that is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and we are going to use that on the front, and I'm going to show you how we get that peekaboo look through there. I want to use this piece right here. This piece I have been staring at for so long, and I think it's so beautiful with those poinsettias, and we can really play up with the green, and I love red and green. I think it's so beautiful. So I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I want to cut a piece that is the same size as this, but only a scant smaller. And when I say a scant, we know that that piece was 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm going to go to 4. Let's see. Yeah, this paper, it doesn't matter. You can go either way. I'm going to go just a hair less than 4 and slice. And then I know that this one was 5 1/4, so I'm going to turn it and I'm going to go to 5 1/4, but just a hair to the right side of my line, and we'll slice. Now that is all that we need to do with our cutting. We're going to let our dies do the rest of it. So I'm going to slide this piece of paper back into my sleeve, and we are going to take this piece right here along with those basic border dies, and you've got a lot of options here. You can use this scalloped one. You could actually bring it like that, which would be absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to stick with the larger zigzag one, and we're going to put that on there and get it as nice and straight as we possibly can. So I'm going to come right about here, and I want to cut maybe right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that nice and even. I might even bring in a piece of grid paper. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a piece of our Stampin' Up! Grid paper. That'll help me line everything up a little bit better. And it'll also give me the opportunity, if I want to stamp I'll have some grid paper to stamp on. All right, I'm going to line this up pretty much right here in the center. But I'm using that top line, and what I want to do is line this up right across there like that. I'm going to use my little Post-it flags to stick this down with. And I just need one. Or I should say two. So let's grab our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I am going to open this up. I think I'm going to do it this way. A little bit more room that way. Bring in my plates. And I'm just going to lay that in like so. Put my cover plate over it. And then we're going to crank this through. And I turn my plate over and put these back where they belong. And then we're just going to take these off. Like that. And now we have our pieces cut. Now the options are endless when it comes to this. We could put this on here and not do anything else. Just let our poinsettias do the work like that. But I want to bring this like so. We could bring this up. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring this up a little bit and then maybe bring that one to there. And you can see how pretty that's going to be. And don't worry about your excess. We can take this to our trimmer and cut everything off once we decide how much of that poinsettia we want to show. And I like it just like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to bring this up to here. Like that. I'm going to turn this over, and I think I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to just put some little pieces of Stampin' Seal all along here. Just like that. Now I can put this down. Bring this over. I can put this down where I want it. So I'm going to go right about there. Then I can turn it over and I can see where I need some more adhesive or glue. I'm going to use glue because I can put that under the edge there. So I'm just going to fold that back and squirt a little glue underneath here just to hold that in place. Press it down. And now we can decide down here where we want this to go. And I think I want it to be about like that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, and again I'm just going to go on these little peaks. Trying to stay in frame as well as get this on here. Okay. So now we can bring this back and bring this down wherever we want it. And I think I want it right about there. So I'm lining it up, you know, side to side. Give it a press. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to raise it up. You know, I don't think I'm going to need much glue under there. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit like that. Give it a good press. Now we can take this back to our trimmer. And all we have to do now is just trim this off nice and even. Get that white trimmed off. Turn it around, do the same thing on this side. And it's okay if it takes a little scant of the red DSP, and that doesn't matter. Now look how beautiful that is, and you could do it either way. You could do it this way, which I think this is the way I had designed it, so I'm going to go in that direction. And now we can bring out our Real Red, our Merry Christmas, and I pull the Merry Christmas from did I put that stamp set up? I must have. Let's see. Well, I thought oh, here it is. I got my Merry Christmas from Hope and Peace. I thought I had it out. I always try to make sure I pull the stamp set so that I have it. So I'm just going to ink this up in my Real Red. I'm going to stamp over here to make sure that I'm getting a good, pretty red Merry Christmas. Then I'm going to come in right here in the middle. See if we can get that evened out a little bit. I'm going to let it sit there just for a moment and let that ink transfer. And there we go. Very, very pretty card. Now we have two options. We could put this on white, but I wonder how pretty this would be on red. Let's see if I have a red card base. If I don't, you know what we'll do? We'll pull a piece of Real Red, or even that mossy meadow would be beautiful. So let's see if I have a mossy meadow. I try to keep card bases cut so that I have them when I need them. And I do have a mossy meadow. Let's see if I've got a Real Red. Now that's Sweet Sorbet. There's a Real Red. What I'm going to do is put it against both and see which one I like the best. Let's try it first on the Real Red. That is stunning. I really like that. But now let's try it on the Mossy Meadow. That's equally as pretty. This would be a really pretty set of cards to make. I think I like the red, and there it is on the white. I think I'm tending toward the red. I hope y'all are agreeing with me. I love it on this red. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. And then we're going to take this and set it down, making sure we get our borders nice and even, and press. Now I'm going to need another piece of white to go on the inside, so I'm going to grab another piece of basic white. We're going to cut this down as well, and it needs to be cut to 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is going to become our inside of our card. Just like this. Beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, I'm going to lay this down and I am going to look at my hope and peace. I think I like that peace on earth, goodwill to all. I like it because it's kind of big, and we're going to grab that one, and I think I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle but up a little bit to the top. And the reason I kind of go to the top with my sentiments is I like to have a little bit of room at the bottom for signing. I'm going to stamp with my Roll Red again. I like to keep it coordinated. I'm going to stamp over here and make sure I got a good coverage. And then we're going to come down right about here, giving a good pressure on this stamp. And very good. Now I think I will use my Mossy Meadow and come in with just one of these leaves. And I think I'm going to do that smaller one. This one right here. So I'm going to put that down like that. I like to just get a little bit of that ink off of my stamps. I'm going to set that one right there because I need to clean it. I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to stamp a leaf right here in my corner. Stamp off because I want this other leaf to be the same color as the one at the top. And look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? And all that's doing is pulling in some of our color from the front to the inside of our card, which is always a plus. So I'm going to turn this over, and again, I think I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I don't have any trouble with my Stampin' Seal as long as I go up with my wrist like that. It pulls it so it's ready every time. I know a lot of you have said you struggled with the Stampin' Seal. But if you will flip your wrist up like that every time, you will always have it at the end of the little roller. That makes it just very, very easy to use. Alright, so I'm going to bring this in, looking at my borders, top, bottom, side to side, and press that in. And there is our Christmas card. And how easy was that? So using that same design, and depending on how much of the designer paper you choose to show, depends on the look of your card. Now you can also use it in the portrait mode and put a sentiment this way as well. So it's totally up to you how you use it. I'll be back with some more cards using these basic borders because you can do so much with these. It is a very versatile stamp set to have. It's beautiful, and I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial on how to use that. And this one, we actually used this one. So happy stamping. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until we stamp again, until I see you again, take care, love one another, and be safe. Love you guys. Bye-bye.